All right. Okay. So, welcome everybody. I'm really happy that you came today and that I have this opportunity to share this information with you. My personal goal for this time together is to help you understand how you can naturally and effectively maximize your energy levels. To start off, what I'd like you to do is to think about, on a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is optimal, how would you rate your current energy level? And then why did you give it that rating? And why do you think that is? So just some things to think about where you're at today, and maybe in general, maybe today is a good day or not so good day. And so just keep that in mind as we're going through. All right. So this might seem like a really odd question to ask as to why you want to maximize your energy. But there's probably more benefits than you've really thought about. Of course, some of the obvious ones, you maximize your focus, productivity for work-related pursuits, or even hobbies, that kind of thing. You have more time to spend with your family. If you've got more energy, then it's less time sitting on the couch, it's less time sleeping in bed. You've got higher levels of physical fitness, and of course, physical fitness and moving our bodies is really good for us for keeping us young and healthful. Heightened mental clarity and increased cognitive functioning. It's good for your brain, okay? The more energy you've got, your brain uses quite a bit of your bodily energy, and so the more energy you have, the better your brain's going to work. More time for your hobbies and your creative and artistic pursuits as well. So the question of what can you do with more energy it's really a matter of personal preference. Different people have different interests in their life. More energy could mean more time with their families. It could be more time doing the things that they love to do on their own. It can be all sorts of different things, and it's a very personal thing as to what you want to do with more energy. And if you feel that that you don't have the energy that you'd like to have, that you're spending an awful lot of time tired and wishing that you could get out and do some of those things, then looking at maximizing your energy is where you want to be. So, all right. Okay, so we're going to start out with nutrition. That's a big one. It's not the only thing, but it definitely is a big part of it. So it's one of the more obvious ways. So using nutrition is in an energy situation. When we think about things like, we need a quick boost of energy, and what comes to mind for you? Okay, what are those things that you think, okay, well, I need a boost of energy? A lot of people will reach for, coffee, or some kind of caffeinated beverage, or an energy drink, or even, something sweet to give you that boost of energy. But it's not quite that simple. And it's also not, it's not as simple as fixing up your diet to say, okay, low carb, high fat, moderate protein. It's not that simple at all. So there are things that we put into our body that support our health, and there's things that sabotage our health. So carbohydrates, as I mentioned, the sugary snack, the energy drinks, that sort of thing, they can really offer our bodies a quick fuel, and we feel a quick burst of energy when we consume those things. However, most of them come with an inevitable crash, right? And so then you're left with energy levels that are likely lower than when you started before. And so you're feeling even more depleted than before you ate them or consumed them. The faster your blood sugar spikes, the faster we feel that energy surge, but then the faster it wears off and the greater the crash. It's kind of like jet fuel for your car, if you think about it that way. Not that we have cars that take jet fuel, but if you did, then it gives you that surge, but it burns out very, very quickly. And the more refined a carbohydrate is, so what I'm talking about is processed, so white sugar, white flour, white rice, things like that, pasta, they all act as that jet fuel for our body. So we get that surge, that energy surge very, very quickly. It peaks and then it drops off very quickly as well. They burn hot, they burn fast, and they can actually wreak havoc with our health. The long-term effects is that it has a negative impact on our energy. What we're looking for is something that is going to sustain us a little bit more regularly. So instead of being on a roller coaster of spikes of energy and then deep drops. We're looking for something that's a little bit more sustainable, something that's going to give us more regular energy throughout the day, from day to day, rather than just for a few moments or a few hours in each day. So eating whole foods, things that are not processed, things without labels, things on the outside of the grocery store. If you've heard of that before, you know, your fresh vegetables and meats, healthy fats, clean proteins, all of those will offer you greater sustainable energy in the long run. All right. Boosting your metabolism. So metabolism is the force within our bodies that converts nutrients to energy. So foods that are good for your metabolism will provide you with more energy. Focusing on boosting your metabolism long-term rather than short-term, which is a little bit what we talked about in the nutrition, is a great way of shifting from relying on those boost foods, those things that give you that short, quick energy. So to optimize your metabolism, you require an abundance of vitamins and minerals. Okay, metabolism is a very complex subject, topic, process within our bodies. And so we need proper nutrients in order to maintain it and to optimize it. And then when the nutrients in our food are not enough, then our cells are low in energy releasing activity. And then that results in tiredness and fatigue. And unfortunately, what happens is then you get kind of into a downward spiral, because when you're tired and you're lacking energy, you tend to eat foods that then promote lack of energy and tiredness. And so sometimes it's really hard to get out of that downward spiral, that negative feedback loop. So eating nutrient-dense foods. And so what I mean by nutrient-dense foods are foods where they have a lot of nutrients per calorie, if you were to take a look at it that way. So vegetables, of course, top the list. Okay, those are the things where you're getting the most bang for your buck. And that's really what you want to focus on. You really want to focus on getting as many whole, raw, locally grown, if you can, organic vegetables into your diet. That's going to give you a lot of nutrients that will support and maintain your metabolism and get it working at an optimal level. Increasing your physical movement and exercise is also really important. Energy takes energy. So the more we're moving our bodies, the more energy we're going to have to do more. Okay, combining both your nutrient-dense foods and your exercise is going to give you an increase and abundance in both your health and your energy. Okay, so reducing caffeine intake. Okay, this one can be controversial, okay, because isn't coffee good for your energy? Now, I might be a little biased because I'm not a coffee drinker. So for those of you that are, please take this with a grain of salt. Yeah, so I was watching another webinar on coffee, and it was really quite interesting. And it does show that the caffeine in coffee will boost your energy. Okay, but what happens is that over the long term, that once the caffeine wears off and then you drop down, okay, that the level that you drop down to is lower than where you started. So for someone who drinks coffee and needs that coffee to get going in the morning, or to get them through that sort of crash in the afternoon when you're feeling a little sleepy, that the boost that the coffee gives you, it actually just gets you up to the same level as the people who aren't using coffee. So it's a perceived boost to your energy, but long term, it actually reduces your overall energy levels. So see, the way that it works is that our brain activity is controlled by chemicals called neurotransmitters. And the neurotransmitters either stimulate our brain cells or they quiet them. Okay, so if you're trying to fall asleep at night and your brain's going crazy, that's those neurotransmitters that are just firing like crazy, and not the ones that are calming things down. So the adenosine is a quieting neurotransmitter. And what happens is caffeine attaches to the adenosine receptors in your brain cells. So what happens is then caffeine doesn't really give you a boost in energy. It blocks the neurotransmitters that quiets your brain. Okay, so it's not really boosting your energy. It's just making you feel more alert because your brain's not quieting down. So caffeine is a stimulant. All right, the increased activity of your brain cells under the influence of caffeine then leads to a secondary rise in the amount of epinephrine in our bodies. And the epinephrine is that fight or flight, it's adrenaline. That also has a stimulating effect on your body. It also has a lot of other effects on your body. Okay, and so it typically increases energy levels. But caffeine it's not a fuel that powers cells. Okay, so what it does is it makes you feel stimulated, like you've got more energy, but it's not actually producing energy in your cells. I hope that's clear. If not, please let me know. Okay, so you feel more focused and alert with caffeine or other stimulating substances, but it doesn't actually provide us with more energy to our cells. Okay. All right, so what can we use instead? What can we use that will actually stimulate us in a good way and be helpful for our bodies? So there are a number of energy boosting drinks that you can get that are not coffee. The problem is that a lot of them have things in them that are not good for our health. Okay, and even if you're really, really good at reading ingredients and very diligent about what you put into your body, you want to be careful with those. There's very few on the market that I've ever found that I would choose to drink. But there are a number of natural stimulants that you can take that actually help to increase the energy that your cells produce. Ginseng is one of them. It's an amazing, amazing herb, and you can either take it in a capsule form or drink it as a tea. There's all kinds of different ways to take ginseng. And ginseng it's wonderful in that it's an adaptogen. It helps to bring your body into balance. So if you have high blood pressure, it helps to lower it. And if you have low blood pressure, it helps to raise it up. It helps to bring your body into balance. Guarana is another one. I believe it's more of a fruit than an herb. Your B vitamins are extremely helpful. And I'm going to come back and talk about B vitamins in greater depth in a little bit. Chlorophyll, which is the green that makes plants green. That's also a stimulating, natural stimulating substance. Coconut oil is another one. And so not only do these stimulants help to increase our energy, but they also provide other benefits, healthy benefits as well, such as increasing blood oxygen levels. So that's good for all of our organs and our systems, reduces blood sugars. It also helps with cognitive function, and it encourages our metabolism to work on a better place. You can also take supplements. So if herbs or teas are not really the way to go, you can find supplements to help with energy. Again, something to be aware of is what's in them, okay? So rather than just grabbing a bottle off the shelf of, oh, this will boost my energy, read the ingredients. I really want to stress that anytime you're putting anything into your body that has a label on it, read the ingredients. And if you're not sure what they are, then pull out your phone and Google them and get a little bit of an idea as to what they are. There are definitely some supplements on the market that are better than others. Yeah, just be wary of that one. There are many vitamin supplements that you're going to see on the market that are labeled as natural. However, over 90% of vitamin supplements are now synthetic, and which means that they're manufactured in labs, that they don't come from foods or herbs or anything like that in nature, and they could actually do more harm than good. They're cheaper to make, so you're going to see them more and more, the synthetic forms of vitamins. So looking for supplements that are made from whole foods, that actually have the whole herb or the whole food in them, are a much better bet. Not only are they better for you, but I truly believe that Mother Nature is so much smarter than we are, and has packaged things in the most perfect form that you can get. And when we go and we try and create things in a laboratory or extract them from plants, that we're losing some of the synergy that was there, and we're missing some of the effectiveness, the perfection behind that. And so again, my suggestion is to try and go with as totally natural as you can get. Uses whole foods. So things, as I mentioned before, ginseng, green tea, suma root, guarana. There are a number of different energy supplements that can really help. And again, they don't just act as a stimulant like caffeine, but they actually help to generate more energy within your cells. Okay, so B vitamins. I mentioned B vitamins before. B vitamins are really important because they're necessary for all the parts of energy production within our bodies. Okay, you may have heard of cells called mitochondria, and they're the little powerhouses within our bodies. Well, the mitochondria, to do what they do, all of the processes involved in that, taking the food that we eat, the carbohydrates, the fats, the proteins, and turning them into energy, all of those processes require B vitamins at one point or another. And the thing about B vitamins is they're water soluble. That means we can't store them. It means that when we eat them, when we take them in, either in a supplement or in our food, that they don't stay. They're washed away. Our body uses what it can, and then it washes away, eliminates through our urine. It means that we can't store them. So we need to make sure that we're taking them, that we're getting sufficient vitamin B every single day. It's not the type of thing where you can just, once a month you're going to overload on them, and then, that's going to take you through the month. We don't store it in our fat cells like we can vitamin A and vitamin D and vitamin K. Those are fat soluble vitamins. Vitamin B, vitamin C, those ones are water soluble, meaning that we process them very quickly. They go through our bodies and we need to replenish. So B12 is a particularly important B vitamin. You may or may not have heard of B12, and you can see the picture there on the slide is of meat. B12 is found in animal protein, including eggs. And you can get B vitamins from things like nutritional yeast, but that the form is not as good. It's not as absorbable. So for vegetarians, people who don't eat any animal products, it's you have to be much more diligent in where you're going to find your vitamin B12, and make sure that you're consuming enough of it to support all of the functions for energy creation. So animal flesh is the best form of vitamin B. If not, again, nutritional yeast is a good place to get vitamin B12. Another way is to supplement, but make sure that you're looking for a good B12 supplement. A multivitamin is not going to do it for you. Multivitamins, as I mentioned before, most of them are synthetic. The synthetic form of vitamin B12 is not helpful at all, can actually be more harmful than helpful. And B12 is vital for the health of our red blood cells, for forming them, for making new red blood cells, for our neurological function, and energy creation. So it's extremely important. So look at the different supplements that are available. Methylcobalamin is probably the best form of vitamin B12. The cyanocobalamin, not as good, and you'll find that one is cheaper, and so it's in more of the supplements that you see on the shelf. All right. So drinking more water. We're always told to drink more water, right? It's we're what is it? 70% water, more than 70% water. We need water for all of our bodily functions, and it's a simple recommendation, but I know that it's hard to follow through on. One of the things that for me that helps me in drinking more water is I like to drink my water hot, like tea, and I like it at a particular temperature. So I find that once it gets to that temperature, I'll drink most of my mug, and then and then what I do is, an hour later when I have to pee, then I fill it up again, and I go on that cycle. I find that if I have cold water or even room temperature water just there to sip on, I tend not to drink as much. I also don't drink as much when I'm busy and I'm doing things because I don't want to have to stop to pee. Keeping all of those things in mind. What's going to work for you, okay? Whether that's just having a bottle with you all the time and sipping on it, or it's keeping track of how many glasses you drink in a day, and you gulp your glasses down every couple of hours, whatever works for you to get that water in. We need it for the hydration, but we also need it to optimize oxygen production in our cells, which is where energy is created. So there's the connection between water and energy, is that in order to create energy in our cells, we need water to do that, okay? So, and you probably realize, maybe you haven't made the connection, but if you're thirsty, if you're getting to the point where you're dehydrated, you're going to feel drained, you're going to feel fatigued, okay? And it's amazing what just having a few sips of water can do for your energy levels when you get to that point, okay? Beyond boosting your energy and fighting off fatigue, drinking water can help you ward off headaches, okay? Lots of times, the reason that you have a headache, a lot of time, the reason that you got a hangover after drinking too much is that alcohol is a diuretic and it washes the water out of your system, so you're dehydrated after drinking, and that's why the headaches come up. Drinking water increases your metabolism, which we talked about at the beginning, about that increasing your energy. Helps with weight loss. And it aids in clearing your skin, because water is amazing at flushing out the toxins in our body. So the more water we have, think about it like anything, right? You want to wash something off. You want to wash off a dirty dish. You want to wash dirt out of a rag. What do? You wash it out with water, and it cleans it all. And it does the same thing in our bodies. So many of the physical symptoms of low energy are intertwined. And so increasing your water intake can often be the most basic, and it's the cheapest step too. And because, drinking water tends not to cost us too much. So, it's a great step towards increasing your energy. When you don't have enough water in your system, one of the reasons that you feel fatigued and that you feel drained is that what happens is your blood volume decreases when you don't have enough water. So your heart has to work harder to move thicker blood through your system. And so when you think about that, now you're taxing your heart, making it work harder to pump the thicker blood through. So drinking water not only has the effect of increasing your energy, but it's also good for your heart in that way, so that it doesn't have to work quite as hard. Okay? Plus, all of the extra energy that's opened up, I guess, is your heart not having to work as hard. Now you can use that for other things. Okay, so it's a matter of being aware of where we spend our energy as well. All right, fitness. So fitness is another way of increasing or encouraging your overall energy levels. Now, that might seem a little counterintuitive, right? I'm going to work out and I'm going to have more energy. But what happens is when you do any kind of exercise, so I'm not talking about going to the gym and doing kickboxing. It can be anything. It can be going for a walk. It can be doing yoga. It can be jumping on a trampoline. Any of those things, what happens is endorphins are released in your brain, okay? And what that does is that gives you a shot of energy. It makes you feel good, okay? The endorphins are the feel-good hormones, that neurotransmitters in your brain. But it's really important to engage in the right kind and intensity of activity, okay, to encourage energy levels, because very intense, prolonged exercise can actually have a negative effect by stressing out your body too much. So balance is important. So it's not that, going out and walking every day is good. So going out and running a marathon every day has got to be better. It doesn't work quite that way. It's a matter of finding balance so that you're not doing so much that your energy stores are now depleted and your body's mitochondria, your energy powerhouses, are not creating enough energy to keep up with the output of your fitness. So it's a matter of finding that balance, okay? And each person's balance is different. It's interesting. You ever watch people who are running? I'm not a runner, okay? I tried it a few times and realized I'm not a runner. But do you ever watch and you notice that some people, when they're running, it seems like they're floating, like it's effortless, like they could go all day long? And there's other people you watch and you think, that just doesn't look natural for you. I think that we really need to listen to ourselves and find what works for us. Not everybody's a runner. So I don't think that running is good for everyone. You know, some weight training I think is good for everybody because it helps to strengthen our muscles, and as women it helps to strengthen our bones. But it's not for everybody, okay? Yoga is my exercise of choice, and it's more than just exercise. It goes into you know, mental health as well, which I'm going to talk about. But it's really important to find what works for you, because if there's the, oh, I don't want to go to the gym tonight, I really should go to the gym, but I don't want to go to the gym, well, then that thought right there is depleting your energy. So again, finding the balance, finding out what activities are the best ones for you. And keeping in mind that activities that encourage calm energy are more effective at sustaining energy release throughout the day. So what I mean by that is things like walking, things like yoga or Tai Chi. Those are what I would refer to as calm energy. And so they're going to help to sustain our energy release throughout the day. So rather than the spike and then the drop, it's something that's sustainable. It keeps it level through the day. Okay. Increasing your fitness level also helps with deeper, more regulated sleep patterns. So you're going to sleep better. Okay. Better for your heart, better heart health, and sharper focus for your brain. Okay. So overall, you should be moving every day. All right, so energy and mental health. Now this one might be a bit of a jump for some, but your mental health has a direct effect on your energy levels, just like your physical health does. Okay, so what I want you to think about here is consider the mental energy that is expended when you are feeling intense anxiety or deep depression. What are your energy levels like there? What about when you're angry? Okay, when somebody just does something that, and you get so angry, how do you see your energy feel in that situation? Or think about a day where you've got something on your mind that you've been worrying about and worrying about and worrying about. How does that deplete your energy? Okay, our thoughts make such a difference in our energy levels. You wake up in the morning and think, ugh, I gotta go to work today. It's gonna be a crappy day. It's icky outside. Your energy levels are low. You wake up in the morning and think, oh, this is great. I've got another day. I've got another day on this planet to do what I want to do. The energy levels are just so different. And you can probably see that in other people, right? You say, oh, wow, their energy is just bringing me down, right? And it can feel like almost like an anchor on yours. Well, you can do the same thing with your own thoughts. So really important is to maintain awareness, okay? Awareness of our thoughts and what they're doing to our energy. Becoming aware is the key to mastering that, okay? So that you can cultivate it more. So you can say, you know what? It's my energy levels. My energy levels are affected by my thoughts, all right? Meditation can help with that. Simply connecting, being aware, saying, I'm feeling this right now. Oh, and I'm not feeling very energetic, okay? Or that's taking a lot of energy. It really takes a lot of energy to be angry. All right, so think about that. Think about the powerhouses, the power plants in your body, your mitochondria, produce energy. We can support them with foods and herbs and getting good sleep and drinking water and exercising. And then we have this finite amount of energy. So we get to choose where we spend it. Now, if we're going to spend it thinking about things, worrying about things, being angry about things, that's less energy you have for the other things that maybe you want to do. Some things that you can do to help to boost your mood. Things like magnesium. So getting that from foods, getting it from a supplement. Vitamin D is also very, very important for enhancing your mood, which would then enhance your energy levels. Okay, so some foods that are high in magnesium, things like bananas, cashews, almonds, dark chocolate. I mean, that has an added benefit of, just helping with your mental health as well. Leafy greens and seeds. Okay. All right, so meditation. It might seem a little counterintuitive that you would think that to increase your energy, you're going to sit still for a while and try to quiet your mind. But what happens is by working on cultivating a daily meditation practice, you will actually help to boost your energy levels throughout the day. Now, that could be because now you're being more mindful of your thoughts. It could be that now you're more aware of what's going on in your life and where you want to spend your energy. You're connecting with yourself. Now, it may be difficult. You might think there is no way I could be able to sit there for an hour and just close my eyes and do nothing. I know that for me, it was really difficult getting started because I'd fall asleep. But if you start small, just 10 minutes, find 10 minutes in your day. Maybe it's when you first wake up in the morning. Maybe it's as you're falling asleep at night. Okay? Find 10 minutes to just sit and be still. And it's not a matter of clearing your mind, because that can't happen. It's not a matter of turning off the thoughts. It's just like the thoughts that are going on in your head are like a movie that are playing on the television and you're just watching them. So no attachment to them, no judgment, no trying to get rid of them. Just watch them. Just be an observer and start with that and see how that goes. What happens is you're building up the stress response of both your mind and your body. So meditation helps us to save energy where it would have been lost before on worrying and worrying about problems and trying to solve different problems. It calms those things down. So now you have that energy released for things that you would have normally wasted them on worrying or planning or trying to control something you can't control. All right. Doing what you love. Oprah Winfrey said, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. So in terms of getting energy from non-food related sources, your drinks, or what you're drinking as well, or even exercise, there's been a recent surge in understanding about how activities and engagement with our environment can also affect our energy level. So regularly doing activities that we love and feel strongly about not only increase our levels of happiness and contentment, but also physically produce more energy. They physically produce more energy in our bodies, okay? So you may realize that doing the things you love, you feel happier, but it actually produces more energy in your body. So that's kind of a win-win, right? Doing things we love more and having more energy now to do the things that we love. So you want to think about it as increasing your vitality, okay? The passion, engaging with other people, activities that you really love doing, not those things that you have to do, but the things that you really love doing. So this is where we get back to the exercise and finding a form of movement in your fitness that you really love to do, right? So it's, as I said, if going to the gym just really turns you off, then find something different. Maybe it's walking by a river or hiking up a mountain or going for a bike ride, playing with your grandkids or your children, anything like that. And if going to the gym does energize you, then by all means, that's your thing. But it's a matter of finding something. And that's why I think why there's so many different forms of energy out there, is because there's so many different people and we all need and enjoy different things. So it's finding that thing that you love. Being honest with yourself is really important there, okay? So it's not doing what your friends like to do or what your spouse likes to do. It's finding the things that you like to do and doing those, and maybe finding people that share those passions with you, and doing it that way. But you need to be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, it catches up, okay? So next time you're doing something, just check in with yourself. Is this something that you really love to do? And if so, how do your energy levels feel? Just be aware. All right, setting your alarm. Now, this is going to be easier for some people than others. I am a morning person. I've always been a morning person. I've never had troubles getting out of bed in the morning. And I know that there are other people that is not the case. So, but getting up earlier has been proven to get us that extra boost of energy and positivity we need to get the most out of each day. So by getting your bodies moving and engaging in light to moderate exercise in the early hours, walking to work if possible, maybe even getting yourself a little mini trampoline and jumping on that for 5 minutes before you start your day. Anything to get your body moving after it's been resting all night. Get your cells energized, okay? Kickstarting your metabolism. Waking up earlier means that you have more time to do a little bit of that exercise. You'll likely have better diet with more planning for breakfast, lunch, taking something out that's going to be healthy for your supper. An increase in productivity and reduced levels of stress. Think about it this way. For those of you that rush in the morning, get your kids ready, get yourself ready for work, and it's bang, 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 and you've got to go. If you had an extra half hour in the morning where things could just flow a little easier, think about what that would do to your stress. And think about how that would change your energy levels throughout the day. And I realize it might be easier said than done. Reducing screen time. So a noticeable change comes over us when we reduce the amount of time we spend plugged into our devices, okay? We become more present when we're not plugged in. We become more alert. That can contribute to more improved fitness levels. Although initially it might seem removing ourselves from technology might give us, removing ourselves from technology literally gives us more energy. When you break it down, it really means that instead of spending that time and energy scrolling through Facebook, you now have that time and energy to do something different, okay? Also, keep in mind that that if you're spending time plugged in, okay, whether that's on your computer, your tablet, your phone, watching television, scrolling through Facebook, eating meals, watching YouTube videos, whatever the case is, that the more you do that in the evening, you may or may not have heard of blue light versus red light. Well, all of our screens, all of our electronics emit blue light, and that stimulates our brains. So if in the evening when we're trying to calm and settle at the end of our day, we're stimulating it with that blue light, it doesn't help with our sleep. And then we can't rejuvenate as well through our sleep, and then that's going to reduce our energy levels. Okay? Right. Spending time in the sun. All right. Do you know that the sun has a direct effect on our energy levels? Recently, researchers have found that, so we've known for a long time that plants take the energy from the sun to make their own food, right? That's photosynthesis, and that's how plants grow and how they make their own food. Turns out that people can as well. Not to the point where all you need is sun and water, but we actually can produce energy from the sun, okay? Now, unfortunately, in the last number of years, the sun has gotten a bad rap. You got to stay out of the sun. You got to use sunscreen. You got to cover up. You got to stay in the shade. All of that. The problem is that sun actually helps to boost our energy, and it helps to boost our mood. Maybe it's because of the vitamin D, because we manufacture vitamin D from sunlight, and vitamin D is a mood boosting. It's actually a hormone, not a vitamin, but anyway. And so that may be the connection there. We cannot get vitamin D from our foods. It's very rare to find in our foods. The vitamin D in milk is added to it. It's not there naturally. So really the best source of vitamin D that we can get is through sun exposure. Now, and if you're up north in Canada like me, then that means that you have to be really diligent about getting your sun, because in the winter, even though there might be a lot of sun, we're not showing a lot of skin out in the sun because it's way too cold. So really taking the time to get as much sun exposure as you can, without burning, right? It's a balance thing here, finding what works for us. That's why it feels so nice to go somewhere sunny in the middle of winter, right? And just to soak up that sun and feel that warmth on your skin. It boosts your mood and also boosts your energy. All right, so how do we incorporate this into our busy schedule? So I've said, okay, well, we need to eat less refined foods and eat more whole foods, superfoods, reduce caffeine and other stimulants, maybe take some herbs that will help as stimulant, optimize your B vitamin intake, drinking more water, exercising regularly, being mindful of your thoughts, maybe meditating, trying to find the things that you love to do and doing those, getting up earlier, reducing your screen time, getting more sun. How do you fit all of these things into your day? It might seem overwhelming. There's a lot of information here, a lot to take in. Sometimes it helps to break it down into small, manageable daily tasks. Maybe you pick one or two of those things to get started with. And then once they become habit, once they become something that you're not even thinking about, then you add another and another. And that you'll notice that once you start doing some of these things, that your energy levels increase. And now, you've got more energy to do more things. And so then it feeds on one another. You try and go whole hog and make all of these changes all at once, it likely won't work. So you want to set yourself up for success. Go slowly. Try what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Be really honest. Stay aware. Stay aware of your energy levels. What are you spending your energy on? And what do you want to spend your energy on? And honor that for yourself. Go slow. Okay? Take them one at a time until they become a habit. Add another one. You can take your supplements with water, which helps with both, right? Now you're taking your supplement, you're also drinking more water. So you'll find that there's some synergy between these. The more you exercise, the more water you're going to drink. So you can work those things out. But I want you to be aware, as I said, be aware of everything, of what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're thinking, where you're spending your energy. Because when we're not aware, we're on autopilot. And there's some advantages to autopilot when we don't want to think anymore and we just want to do, and but being on autopilot all the time is our biggest obstacle to boosting energy, because we're not being aware. We're not being aware of what we're putting into our bodies. We're not being aware of how we're using our bodies and how we're using our energy. So simply becoming aware of your energy levels at different points of the day, during different activities, after eating certain foods, that's huge. Okay, that's going to make the biggest difference for you. All right. So goal setting, maximizing your energy levels is a great way to help you achieve your goals as well. You may have a whole list of goals. You may only have a few goals. But the more energy you've got, the more you have to put towards those goals. Okay, so what goals do you have that you think you could achieve if you could just increase your energy levels? Not just your physical energy levels, but your mental energy levels as well. Okay, by regulating and understanding your energy levels, you can ensure your goals are not only met, but they're built upon. But in the end, it all comes down to balance. You need to find the right balance between work and play, diet, exercise, being creative, being calm, being energetic. Okay, it's all about the balance. You can actually drink too much water and flush out too many vitamins and minerals out of your body. You've got to find the balance. And it's not as simple as saying 8 glasses of water a day, because each of us is different. It's not a matter of saying we need to exercise 3 times a week for 30 minutes each time. Each of us is different. You need to find the balance that works for you. And being aware helps you with that. Okay, being honest with yourself, being aware of what's going on and how you feel, putting autopilot in the background for when you need it, not relying on it all the time. That's going to help you to find your balance. Okay, it can be slow to start with, but you need to experiment with some of these things. Okay, and see what it does to your energy. Stay curious with it. Throw judgment out the window. Okay, if there's a day where you don't get out and you don't get moving, then the next day, if you're just beating yourself up over that, you're spending energy doing that, where you could be spending energy going outside for a walk. All right. So activities that can help you find balance in your life. Meditation, great one for helping you find balance. It really, really helps to bring into your awareness the things that are really important and the things that aren't. Yoga, Tai Chi, taking some time for yourself, going for a walk, sitting quietly, Going out into nature. Nature is incredible at helping us to restore our balance. Okay? Journaling, singing, dancing, all of those things, whatever works for you in order to help find that balance. Think about what can you do to reset. Okay. So, how's all this made you feel? Are you overwhelmed? Are you feeling a little like, oh, I'm not doing any of these things, and now I've got this list of things to do? Or are you excited to increase your energy levels? Again, finding something to be excited about is going to feed into your energy, and then you're in this upward spiral rather than the downward spiral. It works the same way. So feeling down and depressed and judgmental about choices that you're making or things that you've done, that sends you into that downward spiral. It's hard to get out of. What you want to do is try and get into the upward spiral, feeling excited about things. Pick one thing, make a change, feel excited about it. That's going to increase your energy, give you the boost you need to then take on the second thing and the third thing and so on. Okay. All right. So we're just about near the end, and I want to let you know that I've really enjoyed this. This has been a lot of fun for me, and I would be really interested in learning what your number one takeaway is from this experience. You can either type it in the Q&A or you can shoot me off an email later, anything like that, but I would really, really be interested to know what your number one takeaway is with this. As I said, I've recorded this webinar, and I'm going to send you a link to the recording so you can listen to it again if you like. Send it off to somebody that you think might enjoy it. I'm also going to include some links for some more in-depth information on some of the things that I've touched on today. And also, if there's anything that I brought up that you've got more questions about, or maybe you need some help on, some support on, please know that I'm here to help, okay? Just simply reach out to me, and I'll help you in whatever way that I can. And finally, I want you to take away with this quote from Tony Robbins. And if you've ever watched anything from Tony Robbins, you'll realize that this man has boundless energy. And he says, the higher your energy levels, the more efficient your body. The more efficient your body, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you'll use your talent to produce outstanding results. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks again for coming. Bye.